Every single one of us who are educationalists know that research is critical to new knowledge. It's critical to providing community support and to providing economic support.
The future of the 21st century, shared prosperity, shared responsibility, shared sense of community.
The trust that our researchers showed who started that journey with us 10 years ago, we needed to bring in emeritus professors who brought their research with them. You can't start a university from scratch and have research without having researchers that are already research active.
Research is important to all of us. For me, that decision to be a university encapsulates a number of principles. First, our commitment to the regulatory requirements. We must evidence that we produce research at world standard and that it underpins our educational programs. We also must deliver our HDR programs within a rich environment of active research supervisors. Our research must impact and positively serve numerous stakeholders, that is, the student body, as well as academia, industry and government, and more broadly, the community. Universities are also first and foremost places of knowledge production. At Torrens, we believe that the discipline knowledge base is fluid and contested. Thus, we value authentic evidence-based public debate and discourse. So I have faith and trust in our staff and students to be always rigorous, focused, curious, and pioneering in their research endeavours.
2014, I walked into Torrens University and I was immediately struck by positivity and opportunity. Staff were really building the foundations for the university, and we had students. I was a student, at the same time, so we were watching it grow before our very eyes. 2015, Torrens University was able to start making more connections in the research landscape. So there was a Centre of Research Excellence that was funded by the National Health and Medical Research Council. 2016 was very much a year of consolidating and forming some of those structures that are really important for a university in the management of research. So, for example, the first Human Research Ethics Committee, also the Research Committee. 2017 was a massive year. We had our first graduations. We were preparing for our re-registration, and we were starting to get some infrastructure in place, such as the Figshare institutional repository. In 2018, we really started to focus on our research strategy. We registered our Human Research Ethics Committee with NHMRC. We were going through re-registration in 2019. We were looking at developing more strengths and base in research by attracting professors and active researchers into Torrens University. We have some interdisciplinary research themes that were emerging. In 2019, we started to have researchers applying for funding from the Australian Research Council and National Health and Medical Research Council.
Since re-registration, we've embarked upon an intense program of research, and we've achieved many significant milestones. In 2020, we saw important developments in our research governance. Our centres and groups policy, established in 2021, strongly positioned our centres and verticals as places of focused quality research. Then in 2022, collectively we found our voice and we celebrated with our first university-wide Research and Innovation Week. And we also saw significant growth in our HDR programs. In 2023, our external research reviewers acknowledged our world standing in two of our targeted fields of research, health and computing. At this time, we also created strategic research global partnerships in technology and health fields. And I believe the momentum we have all created has now positioned us so well for the next decade of growth. As we celebrate our first decade as a university, it is important for us to reflect on our research. During our first 5 years, we focused on coursework teaching programs, which is quite standard practice. Our research was in startup phase. The 5 years after registration then saw significant growth and momentum. We've seen growth in our centres and verticals and the development of the Research and Innovation Office. The next decade, though, is incredibly important for us. We need to invest in our targeted research areas to ensure ongoing sustainability. We need to invest in our people so that we continue to grow our graduate research programs. We now need to scale up. For example, in our research management, we need to build more sophisticated systems integration. In the last 5 years, we've moved from a boutique, inward-looking business to an outward-looking enterprise for impact. During the next decade, we need to focus on these partnerships to leverage our position on the global stage to create global impact. Impact in health, impact in computing, impact in built environment, design and business.
Focus, focus, focus. We build the infrastructure, we create the policy environment, we create the capacity building process. Our academics are starting to move into the research space. We now need to maintain our focus to consolidate our resources on those critical outputs